Avatar MeherBaba ki Jai. Avatar MeherBaba ki Jai.
Jai MeherBaba.
Jai MeherBaba.
Bismillah. Ladies first.
He wants to put me on the spot where, the hot seat, as English would say, It's not the hot seat. I don't feel anything because I feel that I know you all, and there's nothing to talk about me. I'm sure about that. But what I feel that if you want to know something about my relations with MeherBaba, I'm ready to share. See, I was born into a Baba family. Like my mother was a ardent Baba lover. And then what happens? She met Baba in the late 20s. Because Chanji was my mother's cousin, so he had taken the whole family to Baba to meet him in Pune. At that time, my mother was a little skeptical about it. She said, how can we have Zoroaster, how can we have another, But then she was later convinced. And then, as we grew up, we knew about Baba and nothing about Zoroaster. But we had a big picture of Zoroaster in our house and many, many pictures of MeherBaba. But you see, it was something like this that in the early years it was very difficult for the Parsis. Parsis means I'm saying Zoroastrians, to accept Baba as God-man or a Sadguru even or a saint even. So in my place where we used to stay, it was a big complex of many, many buildings, all of Zoroastrians. So we were the only one among, say, about 200 families who were Baba lovers. And everyone would come to our house, they would see Baba, but never a question, never an inquiry or anything. They just had like Baba, they couldn't see Baba's photos at all. It was something like a blank wall. I didn't know anything about MeherBaba. It was just that like a child is taken by the mother or the family to a church or something. It was something like going to Baba and coming back. And I had totally... we used to go to him, we used to hug him, but you see, nothing affected in my heart. Nothing was there in my heart. We knew, he's Zoroaster, so what? It was something like that. Because I feel maybe that's what I'm telling you, that I was not an intelligent person. But when I was 10, my family had gone for Annavazi's engagement to Lonavala, where Baba was there with his means all the ladies of the ashram. So we went there the first time. That was my first time. And my first time going to Lonavala, which I remember. And I saw Baba there, Mehra there, and Mani there. But I have no recollection of anyone except Mani. Because I used to see Mani running up and down, fluttering, like a little bird, chirping here and chirping there and talking to us. And so I knew that only. No recollection of Mehra, how she looked or how Baba looked or anything. So that was the engagement day of Annavaz, and we had gone there with the whole family. We came back after. And then, but in 1944, I was 12. And I think Baba put a little bit of brain in my head. I became a little bit aware of what was going around. 1944 was again Annavazi's wedding day. It was on the 21st or something around that time of December. And we had all gone there. And my cousins Navjot also was to be there. And we were in such a playful mood that we are having such a good celebration. Navjot and wedding, it's something for the children that you just have to play about, wear nice clothes, have something nice to eat. So we were all called to Amarnagar Annavaz and Nariman's wedding was performed in the fire temple in Ahmednagar. And we all stayed there. In the fire temple, there is a room there. There are 2 floors. And we all stayed there. It was such a wonderful feeling. We used to enjoy it as if we had come for a picnic or a holiday or something like that. Then after the wedding, that time we had not gone to see Baba at all. But after the wedding, Baba called all of us that we have to come to Meherabad because he is going to celebrate Mehera's birthday. So that was the time, the first time ever, that something got into my head and I said, where are we going from this place? And then we all went to Meherabad. We were all kept up the hill with the ladies, with girls, and other men down there. So we stayed there for 4 days. And that time, I was not getting to know, but I was trying to feel the place. What was it? Why are there so many ladies there? You know, I was questioning myself. I would see some Western women working there because there were no servants there. And somebody would give us hot water for the bath. Somebody has to give us the food and make all the arrangements for us there. So it was really, really something for me to learn. That, what is this? And then when I asked my mother, she says, this is Baba's ashram. And where everyone happily works for everyone else. And I said, but why are we here? He said, Baba wants you to be here. So I was still, why we are here? I didn't know that. And then Baba not one day, I think it was on Mehera's birthday, that Baba called us all the children means we were about 12, 14, and my sister was there, my brother was there, my cousins were there and all. And then we all went inside the east room where Mehera and Mani stayed with the other women, Mani, because there were 3 or 4 beds, I could see that. And we went into that room. Baba was sitting on Mehera's bed, beautifully, with one leg up and one leg dangling. And then he looks at one of the lockets, takes it out and gives it to Mehera. And I was thinking that he's going to give it to me. So I was just looking at Mehera, what is she doing? Why she is getting it and not I? I never knew. So then Mehera took it in her hands. It was like a slow motion picture, you know, that Baba is giving to her and I'm looking at it, you know, where it is going. And when it goes to Mehera, I'm looking at Mehera, that what is she going to do with it? And then suddenly, as if something broke open, I don't know what it was. It was on my dress, that bud. And she had sweetly kissed it first, and then she put it on my dress. And that was the touch that I felt. That was the first time I ever felt about Mehera and Baba. Otherwise I had nothing, no connection with them for all those 12 years. And I really said, why Baba, why you have kept me all these years without knowing you? You know, without why I had no urge to know you more. So that was my first association with Baba and Mehera. And then after that, it was something wonderful. I would go up, there were some rabbits there and there were some tomatoes growing there, so I would go over there, what they are doing, you know. I would look around all over Meherabad. And at that time, one of the evenings, Baba took us for a walk. He said, come. And we went around for a walk. It was at the back of the hill, but I don't know where it was. I didn't pay much attention because we were just following Baba. So that was my first and a beautiful experience with Baba and Mehera. And at that time, I have no recollection of seeing money at all. I don't know why. They were all there, but my eyes were not for them. I don't know. I was always looking around for Baba, where he is going, where Mehera is, you know. So that was my first time with Baba. And after that, everything we did, my mother would ask Baba, what shall we do about this? What shall we do about that? Even after I finished my school, my mother had to ask Baba whether Dolly should go to college or not. So Baba said, yes, she can go. So I joined college. And within 2 years, Baba sent a message. She has to start working. And luckily for me, because the jobs are not easily available in Bombay at that time also. But Katie was there. in 1949, Katie had come, because when Baba disbanded the whole ashram, Katie Rani, Dr. Goyal's sister, she had come to Bombay and was staying with Arnavas. And she was at that time working with the Japanese consulate. So when Baba told Arnavas that, so Arnavas was telling Katie, whenever there is an opening, see that you can dolly inside, and to work with you. So luckily, I got her guidance. I had never worked before. I was just 19 at that time. And it was so very fast, that I got into that office without any difficulty. They took my test. I don't know what I did and all that. But they said, okay, you have to come from tomorrow. And I still remember. I said, but I can join from 1st of February. I said, no, join us from tomorrow. So I was very happy, and for every little thing I had to go to Katie to get her guidance, how to do this, how to do that. And it was good that I was with Katie. But one problem was that to be with Katie was when we cannot, both of us, take leave together to go to Baba. So it was, sometimes I had to fall sick and Katie had to apply for leave, and her leave would be granted, and I would wait till the last day, and somebody would telephone on my behalf that Dolly is sick. So we both could go together to Baba. It was something wrong to do, but I had my own sick leave. I was not taking much more than that. But it was that little difficulty was there. But it was nice working with Katie. So many times we had. Okay, now Jal can talk a little bit.
Jai MeherBaba. This is our 13th whistle stop. We are here for last 7 weeks. And 13th whistle stop has really proved to be a very beautiful one. And that I think beloved Baba has really answered your prayers and given this beautiful place to you all to have not only a center, but it will be something like a headquarters one of these days. I feel that way because you have so much of space, you have so much of spirit, you have so much of guts to go and tell the outside world who MeherBaba is, and that is what is going to happen. Because many souls, even here, are ready to accept Baba. Only thing is that we will have to open up ourselves, not by our words, by our deeds, and proclaim what our beloved is. Another thing I want to tell you is, this is the 30th anniversary of some of you coming to beloved Baba's great darshan. I was reminded of it by Margaret and Don Yuko. That was our first call in New York. Jal, do you know that we met 30 years back? I says, yes. And the whole picture came before my eyes. This guy over here, where I called Raphael, he was a tiny tot at that time. And when we went to Meherabad from Pune, I used to hustle and jostle all these youngsters, Don's 3 boys, this guy and others. So all these beautiful memories are coming true, so beautiful, that today we are here just because of beloved Baba's one ultimate wish of having a great darshan. And that great darshan brought many of you out there. Sometimes we think that, we saw beloved Baba, we were with beloved Baba. And you all have not met him, not experienced him, and not even, sort of come across his wishes and other things. Beloved Baba was something, I tell you, even during the Guru Prasad days, was just a body personified. He was so beautiful that years after years we went on for beloved Baba's great darshan during Guru Prasad days, and we would not be satisfied. And we would spend our vacation in Pune, and we are not satisfied. And Baba would call us because we used to stay in Momo Hotel, which was very next door to Guru Prasad. And Baba would send a message, "Come, I want you there." And we would all be there, and we would be very happy that Baba has called us. But then Baba one day says, "You are coming on my chest. Next year, I'm not going to give any darshan in Guru Prasad. And especially you guys, you from Bombay, because all the time you are just want to be, something like a butterfly, always, roaming about the real beautiful flower." So Baba says, even if you come for your office work to Pune, don't try to take that kind of excuse and say, "Baba, I'm here for my office use, that is our office work, and that is why I come here. I don't want you to see me at all." Then of course, Baba went into a strict situation. And that was it. So, beloved Baba actually spoiled us from the very beginning. And then in the end, we were almost like, it was sort of a revolution, in our minds, that beloved Baba is not giving us any darshan. What have we done? And to top it all, Baba sends a circular. I'm going to give a mass darshan, great darshan. And you Bombay people are going to have only 3 days, 13th, 14th and 15th of April, 69. And that's also for half a day. Why? Because my Western lovers are going to come and see me in the morning hours. So this was all going on, and then we finally said, "Oh Baba, this is too much." We were almost jealous of you, But he had given us a forewarning at one time. It so happened that during Guru Prasad days, natural, because we would land in Pune early morning hours from Bombay by a night train. And we would just buy first class ticket at Pune station. Absolutely first nearest station to Pune, in order to specify that, that we are first class passengers. And then use all the facilities of first class by having a bath in the first class waiting room and everything, put on the best clothes that we have brought, and be at beloved Baba's gate at about 8 o'clock. Baba would be very happy. And sometimes, as if he is expecting us, he would be in the smaller hall. And Baba would ask Alabaji or someone to allow us inside. And whenever he wouldn't allow, then by 10 o'clock there would be a huge crowd behind us. And the rush would be so much that we had some very, very old beloved Baba's lovers. And they would be actually trampled upon them, you know. It would be such a bad rush. But then still, everyone, because they knew that it is all for Baba, so there was nothing like any complaints or any suits filed or anything, you know. But we would just take it as a joke, you know. Sometimes Baba would say, I was just telling Karina today that he always used to tease us, you know, and he would say, "You people, you must have had such a beautiful sleep on the train." And yesterday night it was something so horrible, I didn't have one wink of sleep. And then I tell you, you know, these old Babalas, they were they were very much attracted to Baba. And at the same time, if anything would go wrong, or if he would say something which would little bit give them a sort of a shock, then they would say, "What, Baba, what are you talking? You don't know how many hours we have spent arguing with other passengers on this train." Because it used to be during the summer holidays, so naturally lots of people would like to go by this last train to Pune and then go to their native place and all. So then we would, in order to facilitate all old Baba lovers, we would be sometimes a group of 40, 50 sometimes. So in order to facilitate old Baba lovers, we would take our best friends and all that would wait way back at the end of the station, and as the train chugs in, we would just throw ourselves into one compartment. And the compartment would not have any light because the engine has not been done. So then, now, how do I know, and how does she come to know that we are in a particular compartment? By this time, not only we were, were going inside the compartment, but there were many others also. And they would say, no, it is no reservation here. Please figure out, And we would stretch ourselves absolutely as if we were diving or something, But nothing doing, They would push us, and sometimes instead of having a full bench to carry 4 passengers, 5 passengers, they would, give us only space for 2 to 3 ladies. And then, of course, the arguments would start, and this and that and that. And that is why, when Baba would say that, and that you were so fortunate enough to get sleep and all that, and these ladies from our group would just blare out and say, "What, Baba, you don't know what we have gone through just at night." We had to argue, and then they would come to some philosophical argument and spiritual argument. But Baba saw to it that, those hours, those 4 to 5 hours are spent. And now I feel that Baba, I think his way of working was something like this, that he would tease us in that way to say that those hours are gone, now you stay with me. So that is how he would, sort of start the darshan with us. Those darshan days was, I tell everyone on each and every center, those darshan days were really beautiful. You wouldn't believe it. I sometimes used to think that I am not on this earth, I'm somewhere floating around. Because here, beloved Baba is on a sofa, Hirach is behind him. The bhajan mandal is sitting down there, or some very good Qawwali singer, or sometimes bhajans and all that. They would love to come to Baba and, want to render their own songs in Baba's praise. And here there is a big queue of Baba lovers to come and bow down to beloved Baba. And Baba would sometimes, with his gestures were, he was not speaking, but his gestures, his eyes were such that they were speaking a beautiful language that we could understand. As Dolly would be asked, Baba would say, where's your sister? And something like that. And then sometimes many would come and bow down to beloved Baba. Sometimes the mothers with their very young child, hardly 6 days or 10 days old, they would, as if that they are giving Baba the child, give the child to Baba. Baba would only caress it, play with the child, Many times it could happen. And then sometimes Baba would look at Eras and he would have a beautiful smile. And Eras knew what has happened. So Eras would try to get some handkerchief or something in order to clean up the mess, because the child has peed on Baba. And Baba would beautiful telling him, don't worry, everything is okay. And with a very smiling face, Baba would again give back the child to the mother. In the meantime, mother has taken Baba's Dastur, touched his feet and all that, and Baba would give it. Sometimes Baba would be offered large amount of money. One day some very big official or politician was there with his whole family. He had brought some gift for Baba, fruits and all that, and Baba accepted everything. And then after the whole family has taken his darshan, he silently brings out one cover containing lots of, I think thousands of rupees were there. From the bulk that I could see, and he offered it to beloved Baba. Baba said, what is it inside? He said, Baba, I have come to you for the first time. My family is very, very happy. So, this is my token of love for you. Baba said, first of all, I don't touch money. I don't want any money. In fact, I don't want any money. No, but Baba, I will tell you, it is just a gift of love. Baba said, listen, I would have accepted it if I would accept it from someone else. But then when I don't accept it from anybody, how could I accept it from you? And then, still this guy went on persisting that, he should have it. So Baba said, wait, now, let us come to some terms. So you do one thing. Just think that I have accepted your gift. But I am giving it back to you. I am giving it back to you. And whenever I need that money, I will call for it. But you just take it back. And I have accepted it. Don't think that I will not accept it. Baba would be so sweet about it, Don't think that I will not accept it. I have accepted it, but take it back. And whenever I want it, I will just get it. And then that guy knew that there is no other way. He will have to take it back. So he took it away. After half an hour, there used to be one Kharme Masi in Bombay. Kharme Masi I think her youngest child was about 1 year or so when she lost her husband, very young. And now
She came to stay with MeherBaba.
she came to stay with MeherBaba. Now the thing is that the family was not ready to help her at all. And it was beloved Baba who used to see to it that Karma Masi is given from every month some money for her and for her children. I mean, not lots of money, but very, frugal amount of money that that would be given to her. But every day from that money, she would always save one and a. That time there were no paisas or anything. 1 anna or 2 annas from that very small amount that she would receive through somebody. In that particular box, and whenever she would think that I have to go with the Bombay group, she would change it into a 5 rupee note or a 10 rupee note, as it could be. When she would, she was a real stocky lady, very old, but she would always stand in a queue in order to come to Baba. That was another thing. And she would then take that note of 5 rupees or 10 rupees, fold it, and again fold it in her own handkerchief, small handkerchief that she would bring, and keep it in her blouse. When her turn would come, she would take out that hanky and so very sweetly she would pass it on to Baba, that nobody knew what is happening. But Baba that day wanted to tell us all that her money is the money that I want. So Baba takes that hanky and dabs it in his eyes and tells Karma Masi, I've accepted. Thank you, Baba. So this is what it was. Baba was not ready to accept thousands of rupees. But from that old lady, he was ready to accept even 5 rupees. Because it was given with love. And she always thought about Baba. There were many instances like that when sometimes, we would, yeah, please, go ahead.
Putting you to work all the time, huh? Jumping here and there. See, when he's talking about Guru Prasad days, I was reminded of one little thing, maybe 2. First, we used to go every week and many things happened, but I don't remember them very good. But this one incident, because it pertained for me, most of it was for me. One day we were early with Baba, sitting in the small room before the darshan would start in the Guru Prasad hall. We were sitting there, and as usual, Baba would ask, how is it? How is your health? Did you take medicine or not? Do you take egg or not? Something what Baba would always ask. And then suddenly, he asked someone, have you read God's lips? And somebody said, Baba, no, I have not yet had any time to read it. And somebody said, Baba, it is so difficult to understand that book. So I'm not ready, And then when my turn came, I told Baba, I've just read 33 pages, because I had read 33 pages. I love to read Baba books. I am not fond of books at all, reading Baba books. I used to read novels and everything else. So I told Baba, I read 33 pages. And I didn't understand it, so I tried the second day. And then also, nothing came into my mind. What was it about and all that? I knew it was something. And I thought I'll read it at some other time. And Baba said, what? You have not read my book? And I said, no, Baba. Then he said, read it the first time. The whole book. And if you don't understand it, read it the second time. And if you don't understand the second time, read it the third time. And then remember, if you don't still understand, everything is zero. And he made a big zero to me. And I tell you, I read it 3 times as per Baba's instructions. I read the whole book from first page to the last. But nothing entered my mind. Until today, I'm just blank about it. But when Listen Humanity was there, I could read the part where the story form is there. So I would always love the story part of Baba's things. I can never understand any discourses, anything. But I have to tell you one thing. I really loved the book, Everything and Then Nothing. It was so small. Everything was little on this. So it was a beautiful book. So that I had read. But other books, no. Sorry. So I told Baba that I read the books he read. Good. And he didn't ask me anything, whether I understood it or not. Nothing. The second thing I wanted to tell you about was Guru Prasad days, when we would be sitting there, when we would be sitting in the small room. This is the big hall. There was a small room next where we would sit with Baba for some time. And then this time would come for the darshan program. We would all be asked to come into the big hall, and Baba would go there to refresh himself. So we would come and sit next over here. This was the ladies' side, this was the gents' side, and Baba would be sitting here. So there was a big sofa here. So we would all come and sit in the front and then wait for Baba. So one day, and when people started coming in, the hall was getting full. So someone comes and says, "You are always at the back. Today this group from Hamipur has come, and you are always getting a chance to be near Baba. Why don't you go back?" And we said, "Okay, if you want us to, we would like to, but if you want us to, we'll definitely go." So we went. We sat right at the back, and then Baba comes in. He sits down. Everything is fine with him. He looks at us. He looks at all of us. He does, and he sees that we are not there. So Baba tells him, "Where are my Bombay passes?" We could hear that he is there. And he said, "They have been asked to sit at the back because this group from Hamipur has come and they need some place, and they hardly come. So we allow them to sit in the front." Baba says, "No. Tell them to come here again." Baba says, Come and sit." Then Baba says, "I am giving you this chance to be with me. Don't take it away from them." He's telling everyone, whatever chance you get, you take it now. Because in future you won't be able to get that chance again. So even when we obeyed the orders, Baba wanted us to be back there. He said, "I'm Bombay passes." And we were so proud, "Oh, we are Bombay passes," It was, I tell you, something about Baba, although the Parsi community never accepted Baba as their God-man or a saint or anything. But the few of us means the Parsi community, those who really and readily accepted Baba, they loved Baba very much. I don't know, I've never loved the earlier generation which was with Baba from the early 30s. They loved Baba. Everything, whatever Baba said, they would do it completely and in good faith. There was nothing that Baba said, "This, we have to do this." I'll tell you something that somebody asked me that, "Did Baba give you any orders?" I said, "No, Baba never gave us any orders." But in general, sometimes Baba would tell us to do something and we would do it immediately. It was just for that time that we would do it. Okay, now we can continue.
During that day, as Dolly says, beloved Baba So take the chance I'm giving you right now. And then he gestured something like this, that in time to come, my lovers from the West and others, will come in such a wave, and this is the way, you gesture, wave, that you will all be thrown away. That is what he used to tell us. And today at Meherabad, we really feel that his word is really coming true. Every time we make arrangements, the pilgrim center is full, the hostels are full. Even now, the Silence Day program is as big as the first years of Baba's Amar Tithi, when 600, 700 people would come. So now we are almost 1,000 people during Baba's silence program. And then people are coming from Israel, people are coming from Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia. Books are being translated, printed. And then now we see that even people from Argentina have started coming in a big group, 10, 15 people at a time. So this is a fair warning to you. And like a Meherabad police, I have already given you a citation, which requires you to be in Meherabad within 2 years from to die. Where is Diana?
I heard that. We do not speak like that now, sir.
So 2 years from now,
Thank you.
and 2 years from now, and you will have to come in person to Meherabad and answer all the charges which have been filed against you. So this is an open invitation. Baba did say that you will all be thrown away. In fact, now going back again to 69 Darshan. Before that, let me tell you about an incident which happened in 1954 when Baba was giving us darshan for men's salas. And Baba was on the stage, and then he just said, Baba wants you to file in a queue, and Baba wants to give you a hug, embrace, And each and every one should come to him in a queue. So we all started, and that was the time I said, I will also give him a good hug. That's what is required, So that everyone was getting a good Baba darshan and all that. Then, as usual, there was one group from Andhra, and he was introducing, the group leader was introducing one person after another person. And when a grand old man came in near Baba, he says, Baba, I tell you, it is your miracle that this old gentleman is here. And I said, Baba knows nothing. Baba said, what happened? Oh, Baba, 3 days back his grandson was absolutely on deathbed. And God alone knows when he made up his mind to come with us. His grandson all of a sudden gets up and plays around, and that is why today he is here. So beloved Baba, after hearing this, he stopped him there and there. It was not my miracle. Don't attribute anything to me. This was the destiny. I have not come here for any miracles like this. And then he made everyone to understand by asking someone to translate the whole episode in Telugu language so that the whole audience knows what had happened, in order that everyone knows as to what has happened. And then Baba, during that whole day, went on reminding that person, remember, it was not my miracle. It was not my miracle. And every 1 hour or 1.5 hours, Baba would again tell that. And we understood. And not only that, he wanted everyone to know that I am not here for miracle. And then, in 69, this great darshan, I was just near Francis Xavier at the steps of Guru Prasad, when all 7 to 8 buses would come to Guru Prasad, and children would, all the boys and girls would come down giggling and absolute in ecstasy that they are coming to MeherBabaLibrary and coming to Baba's, to Pune, Guru Prasad, and to take Baba's darshan, And at that time, Francis says, who says Baba has not performed the miracle? This is the living miracle. And that is how it was, that so many of you came. And the first thing was, you all bowed down to an empty chair which had Baba's picture, of course, as we are all doing today. And we all did the same thing. But at that time we just could not believe that Baba is not there. And Baba is not supervising anything. We always felt that Baba's presence was there. In fact, Baba had told us in for Bombay Center, whenever a center would be established, and we would say, Baba, we have to open the center, and Baba said, why do you want to open a center? Make your heart my center, make your heart as your center. But we would say, Baba, no place in Bombay which will be able to take so many people, and they want to come down for your bhajans and all that on Sundays, and they would like to bow down to your photograph and all that. So Baba then said, okay. Then Baba said, then you will all have, this is the arguments, Baba would, his signs were something like this. Then you will start, fighting, then there will be sort of arguments and disagreements, and so Baba would say that. Then later on Baba agreed to it. With a big fanfare, we opened the center, and today it was on Baba's birthday in 1962. The date, correct. Is my chronicle. So then, and Maharani Shantadevi, whose palace Baba used to, Guru Prasad was her palace. So Baba had specially asked her to come and open the center. And then everything was there. But now, after the center is open, there is another thing which came in our Indian life, was a TV.
Indian TV. In Indian television.
Yeah, in India, television came into being. And in order to draw crowds, they would always have a very good Indian movie on Sunday evening. So naturally everyone would like to see Baba's opening center, then we'll go next time, don't worry. We would all, many people would evade. So it came to such a stage that on Sundays nobody was coming. Very few. It was So then our Swarajya Secretary, our president, took this complaint to beloved Baba. The Baba, you said, not to open the center. We have opened the center, but now nobody is coming. And you mean to say nobody is coming? Baba, very few people are coming in, but we thought that many hundreds would come in, and then Baba heard him for a few minutes, and then after a minute of a long pause, Baba says, "But do you go there?" He says, "Yes, Baba, with my brother." It's not his own brother, but my brother in Baba, who was his neighbor also, and he was the vice president of the Bombay Center. So both of them would come and supervise the cleaning and everything, and they would really take very good care. So Baba said, "You go. Remember one thing. Even if he doesn't come and you are all by yourself in the center, keep it in mind that my presence will always be there." And he repeated twice, "My presence will always be there." And as if, we all got the message in Bombay. From that time onwards, everyone started flocking again to Bombay Center. So whenever we feel that, we are talking about Baba, or we are meeting in a center also, we always feel that Baba's presence is always there. He is bound to be here somewhere. And not necessary, as somebody asked us in New York, he says, "Do you by any chance want to say that, you are on such a spiritual, highlight, that, you see Baba's, form or something or that?" And says, "Don't worry, it is not that way." When we talk about beloved Baba, Baba is always in our heart, and that is why we always feel that internal feeling, which is that Baba is with us, and that is why we always say that Baba's presence is 100% there.
I'll tell you something about the Bombay Center. Baba had given us a very beautiful message. It was something, and he sent out that message on the opening day with Maharani Shantali of Baroda. It was said, "Make Meher Hall." Meher Hall was the name of the center, like you have Meher Board. "Make Meher Hall the house of all hearts that seek to hear my message of love and truth." Such a beautiful message. And that was given to us, and we said, "Wow, that seek to hear my message of love and truth." Baba didn't want us anything to do. He doesn't say, "Oh, you have to fast, you have to meditate, you have to say my name 100 times or 1,000 times." Nothing. Such a simple thing. Just your heart. Jay. Okay, start.
In Guru Prasad, we would be almost 500 to 600 people. And Baba sometimes would, in midst of all these bhajans going on, Baba giving darshan and all that, Baba would sometimes give one gaze from left to right and right to left. And everyone in the hall would have that kind of, sort of an experience that beloved Baba has had a contact with him directly. Everyone. That is how his gestures were also so very, not only gestures, but just his eyes, from one side to another side, would be so very powerful, so very strong, that everyone would feel that they have had Baba's darshan and Baba has seen me. That is how everyone would feel. Then, one particular day, there was someone who was standing near the wall. And Baba was so observant that immediately he turns to Erach and says, that guy is here. So he asked him, Baba knew him very well. So he asked him, what's wrong today? He says, no, Baba, there's nothing wrong. I'm absolutely all right. No, there is something wrong. I know it very well. I know it. He says, no, Baba, there is nothing. So then Baba, through Erach, of course, when I say Baba says, it's always to be taken that Erach would speak out the words. Baba said, I know you are suffering. I know your sufferings. And I also know that you are taking a part and parcel of my sufferings. And remember one thing, anyone who partakes a little bit, you will say that this much, who partakes in my sufferings is always very close to me. Remember that. Now don't worry. And Baba just, as a blessing, Baba gave this sign. And of course, that was it. So all these things were happening. And so many times, Baba used to be very fond of kavalis and bhajans and all that. So Baba would call so many times some very good singers. One day, someone said, Baba, this team from Bombay, they are very well known kavalis. Baba, so very good. So let us fix up in one Sunday and then bring them over. So everything was fixed up. And as usual, Baba on one hand would encourage you to do something. Like these two brothers were giving one song after another, one bhajan after another, one kavali after another. And he would say, beautiful, beautiful, I loved it. He would say, I loved it. But the second one should be a little bit, just to be something better. A little bit better. A little bit better. Every time, almost, I loved it. Wow. You have pleased me so much, and this is what I will do. And we were sitting across in another small room, Merji, then our Nariman and all, and we would sit down there so that we could relax, with our stretched legs, and we would look at Baba all the time, no doubt about it. And then this third or fourth kavali was going on and he could not bear it anymore. So then he turns to us, means to Nariman and other us, and Baba signed, showed this P. Very good, he showed us. And P means poro. Poro means in English an omelette. And Baba wanted to tell us that these two guys are making an omelette of everything. that is how beloved Baba was. He could not say, he won't say anything, but at the same time, he would sign us, that is, I think it was one of the things that, Baba would get away with, was signaling to us, and we would know as to what Baba wants to tell us. But the kavalis were really very good. One day, one of the sabas, Baba said, it's 12 o'clock now. Let's have lunch. 2 o'clock, I will take you up this hill. There was no samadhi that time. Samadhi had no importance whatsoever. There was grass everywhere, there were pebbles and big rocks and everything. There was nothing. Even when Baba was in the crypt from 31st of January. There was hardly anything there. Now we will come to that later on. It so happened that Baba said, today I'm going to have some relaxation. And we are going to have some very good covers coming in today, Beautiful, And they are really very good. We will all go up. So that is the time when beloved Baba took us across the railway track. And he stopped at the railway track. And then he gestures to us and tells us, Baba says that this whole area, the whole Meherabad, is going to be something very big. Very big. And then as if, he was following his own lines, he turns to us to tell us that it will be even bigger than Mecca.
Wow.
These were his words. That was the time I still remember. Today, everyone is singing this song, Gate Chalo, Gate Chalo. I still remember it was the same song which we were singing following beloved Baba onto the hill. Now, we go to today it is called study hall on the first floor. And we go there, and Baba is in a very good mood, and then Eras, takes a hanky because it was, I think, summertime or something. So Baba, wipes, and Eras wipes off Baba's face and all. And Baba is in a very beautiful mood. And we are now all seated, just squatting, no chairs, nothing whatsoever. All of a sudden, from the wing, Aloba comes and sits down there in the front. And Baba was looking at this, as Baba came this side and he said, Aloba, you? He said, yes, ma'am. Why did you come here? And then he was addressing us, telling us, now that this guy has come, he has ruined my entire program. Entire program. Now I don't know what is going to happen. Anything these Kawals will say, and then he will start coming to me, breaking his head near my feet, and this is always what he does, And I'm really tired of this guy, but he always insists that he should come for the Kawali. So now what do we do with you? Baba, I'm telling you, he folds his head, I will do nothing. Promise. Nothing I will do. No, I know you. You won't keep your promise. I know you won't. So, Baba said, now what shall we do with you? So as if you are all sitting down here, Baba asked, is there anyone who will be able to take care of Aloba? And our Berul, who used to be in charge of the mosque, was the monthly member, his son-in-law, Pesi Irani, really very muscular body, tall chap and all that. Baba, I will take care of Aloba. Baba said, no. Pesi, 12 people like you will not be able to hold it. When he comes to that ecstasy, because Kawali is such a beautiful thing, that when you really understand Urdu, it really hits your heart so badly that you really like to, sort of break your head on beloved's feet. So Baba said, 12 of you will not be able to take care of this Aloba. He gets into that. And then I have to tell him, oh Baba, don't do it. But now he will ruin it. No Baba, I will do it. That was Pesi's confirmation that I will do it. So then Baba says, all right, if that is the case, if you think that you will be able to, you are capable of doing it, do one thing. Take this guy and both of you sit absolutely at the back. I don't want to see anything. Both of you sit. And Alba said, yes, Baba, if that is the case, I will go back, no problem. And Alba wanted to be in the Kavali, at any cost. So Alba agreed readily, that he has been now granted permission to sit inside. So the first Kavali is sung and Baba was really, I mean, this is not a thing, Baba was really. And again, Baba's practice, beauty. It really touched my heart. Give me something better. And the first Kavali is over, second Kavali is over. Third Kavali is also over, and Baba says, oh, absolutely. In the middle of this Kavali, sometimes it was Baba's practice to halt, to stop that Kavali. And sometimes Baba would ask Professor Afsari or C.D. Desmond if the Kavali puts up some verse for love or obedience or something or the other. Baba would always say, what did Hafiz say about love? Or sometimes, what would Gita say about this particular thing? And C.D. Desmond would always be there with that own version. So this is how it used to be. During Kavali, Baba would stop the Kavali and ask, and so that we should also understand the meaning of it. So then the third Kavali was also over and the fourth Kavali started, and about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all of a sudden we heard, Baba! Suddenly huge, it was such a big, I said, here comes Alva. And we hear real thumping noise of this somebody running towards Baba. And this gentleman comes and bows down to Baba's feet and starts crying. Who was it? Tell me. It was not Alva.
Casey.
It was Pacey. It was Pacey himself, the one who was supposed to be taking care of Alva. He is the one who is, almost hit with some few lines. And he comes, and it was Alva who comes along with Pacey and says, Pacey, you shouldn't be doing this. You are not pleasing beloved. This is how it used to be. No, it was some. Then I think during that same program, sometimes these years and all that, so many things have happened that sometimes I am confused. But this has happened. One of the sabhas, Baba gave us 2 hours of obedience, discourse on obedience. And obedience. And Baba would, early morning he started saying that today this subject is going to be very, very important. That is why I want you to give your 100% attention. And then Baba starts on obedience, says, and he asks someone, he says, if I asked you to cut your son's throat, will you do it immediately? And someone said, yes, Baba, if you say, I will do it immediately. Somebody said, well, Baba, I would at least think about it, Baba said, I am very pleased that you have given me your personal views on this, But what I want is, as soon as I say something, it must be done. And that is called obedience. I want complete obedience. And on this obedience, we went on and on, and then it says, oh, it's now 12 o'clock, let's go for lunch. And 2 o'clock, I'll take you up the hill. He takes us up on the hill, and then Baba was sitting down looking here and there, and then he spotted someone. And he says, come Darabsa, come. Come and sit down next to me. It was a real big sofa. And come Darabsa, come and sit down next to me. And Darabsa, said, oh Baba, you are the highest of the high, you are my Lord. How can I, your servant, can be sitting next to you? And then Baba made such a big face. Oh God. My 2 hours, I think I have wasted. Those 2 hours in the morning are completely wasted. You have watered down my entire subject. I just wanted you to do a simple thing, like coming to me and sitting down next to me. And here it is. You were not even able to do that much. You have ruined my whole discourse. That is how Baba wanted him to sit down there, very next to him, and that was it. And it was such a simple thing. But I think out of so many of us, many would have also given that kind of a reply to that. Naturally, his physical body and his status was so great that we almost thought that we are his servants. That is how it used to be. But this was after the obedience, many would have done it, no doubt about it. But here it was, beloved Baba knew that what Darabsa is going to say, and that is why he picked on him, and said, come, sit down next to me. And he knew that he will never do it. This is how it used to be. Yeah. Again on Kavalis, Baba wanted 100% perfection. Whatever you do for beloved Baba, you must have 100% perfection. Baba said one day, he comes to Bombay and says, I want to have some little bit of, Kavali program. Too much of work, and I must have some relaxation. Yes, Baba. So we had there are some kind of brokers, who actually know all the kavals, and they are always there for you to pick up the best kavals. So now these kavalis are such a thing that they are always sung in the nights. Actually, they start at 10 o'clock in the night. And by the time, they all the accompaniment and all that get together after 15-20 minutes of, some tune or the other and all that, then only they would, start the kavali. And by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock would be the best time. And this would always be sung near some Mohammedan saint's kabar. Kabar means the resting place. Whenever he had his Amar Tithi or his birthday program or whatever, that this is how kavals would come all over from India, and then they would be asked to sing near to please the saint who is in the inside his tomb. So we brought a kawal. Now he's supposed to be, giving us this kind of kawal at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Baba's timings were always according to his pleasure. So this guy, starts, and Baba as usual says something better. And this guy tries to give and at the same time Baba instructed us, get me something better, this guy is no good. So people run helter-skelter and go bring another team. And this guy after 3 minutes, Baba says, the last one, and it should be absolute. Because he wanted this guy to go, Baba made it clear that this is going to be your last one. So it must be really very good. So after the last one, another one is called, and he starts the program. Baba was not satisfied. Baba says, what are you all up to, Get me something, someone who can really sing Kavali. So then here it is. This broker goes to someone's house and he goes there and tells the guy, the Kawal, who is the head of the gang. So he says, to keep my prestige, you will have to come today. But he says, my dear, I will just come after 36 hours of train journey from Jaipur. How is it that I can tell my people, they are just at their lunch and they are sleeping? I can't, sort of tell them to get up and all. I'm losing my prestige. Please stop. Yeah, come on, let's go. So he asks everyone to get up, brings this. He was Jaipur Kawal. And from the very beginning, this guy was the best. And Baba loved it and loved it and loved it. He loved it so much that he was the only one who was called by beloved Baba. And I just want the Kawali from that guy. You better contact him and get him. So that was the time beloved Baba listened to him for the entire night or something like that. So this is how beloved Baba would give importance to Kawali. Very much interested in Kawali.
Is it time almost? Still on?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
In 65, for me, beloved Baba's feet are very important. Whatever I buy, even Baba's pictures and all that, I would love to see that beloved Baba's feet are there. Always wanted. And then it so happened that in 65, volunteers were called to get the last darshan, and some of us from Bombay were also called.
But in 1965, Baba called the Easterners for darshan.
Yeah. So,
4-day program.
yeah. And then, since this were, we were called, but, Baba was giving darshan to the volunteers and very selected people, only in his bedroom. So we were standing in a queue outside his bedroom, and we didn't know what is going on inside Baba's bedroom. But every now and then somebody or the other would come and say, Baba is in a great hurry to return to Marazad. Today is the last day. He will be returning. So, just don't try to go and grab him or don't give the hug or anything. See to it that you take his darshan as fast as possible. Possibly just fold up your hands and pass by. And not only once, every now and then, about 10-15 minutes, somebody would come and tell us. And we were in a big queue. So this was ingrained in everyone's mind. So my turn come in and, I just went inside Baba's bedroom. And I said, Baba was sitting there. Iraj was on one side, Nariman was on one side. And I just went inside and I said, Jai Baba. And I returned back. This is my instructions are. So as I'm leaving the room, there was a click like this. And Nariman says, Baba wants to know what is the hurry. And I turned back and I was trying to explain that I was not in a hurry, but I was trying to take the instruction, go exactly according to the instructions given. Baba said, nothing doing, come down. So back, I'm facing beloved Baba. And I'm again trying to tell him, he says, nothing to do. Just take my darshan. And then I'm such a person that when I get something, I really grab it. So I took each of Baba's feet, foot, and really gave a kiss on both the feet, And I'm still, in my tears, and I'm trying to tell him that Baba, it was not my mistake. I've not done anything wrong. He says, don't say anything. I know everything. But remember, God alone knows you will get such a chance again. This word is Nariman said it, of course. But then God alone knows when you will get this chance again. And since that day, especially whenever I used to go to Bombay Center, that thing would flash back again and again, and I would know. Sometimes during the day also, I would know as to why Baba has said this, why, and why to me only, why did he say that? And I got the meaning of it on the day, on 1st of February 69. I went down the cradle and I could just kiss his toes because it was so steep down that we could not just go and kiss his feet. So that was the time when I could kiss only his toe. And this is how Baba had predicted this kind of a thing, that he doesn't know when I'm going to get a chance. Although there was a chance in 67 or somewhere, when was it? When there was, as you all had opened up a book in one of the New York fairs or something, we had also opened up a book in an American machinery exhibition. And we wanted to, do something.
It was like a World Trade Fair.
World Trade Fair. So that was the time when beloved Baba himself dictated the questions and the answers of that small booklet, Who Am I?
Who is Baba?
Who is MeherBaba? And that was the time when we printed them in thousands and also printed universal message in 4 languages, totaling 100,000, and which we used to give it to everyone, who would come to the Baba's book. And because of this fair, Baba had sent instructions to 4 of us from Bombay to come and meet her. And I started building castles in the air. Hey, this is the time I will definitely get Baba's darshan. I will also, definitely, so touch his feet and all that. But everything was completely down by Iraj, who was sitting next to Baba. And as we entered the Mandali hall in Mehrazad, Iraj says, Baba says that you will have 2 to 3 minutes with me and nothing more. Don't try, all that, Baba is in strict seclusion. So don't try to come near him or take his darshan or anything. just listen to what Baba has got to say about something, and that's it. So orders means orders. We were sitting down, near the wall. I took out my diary, and started taking. And Baba said, nothing doing. I don't want you to take any instructions, nothing. Just sit there, listen to what I want to ask you. So Baba, opening statement is, what have you done about this? Money. What have you done about the money? And Baba was very particular, And otherwise Baba would say, then you will all come on my chest, Then there is no money and we have to open a stall and we have nothing, whatsoever. So then Baba would always say, what about the money? Every time anyone wants to open the center or anything, what about the money? And then we have to guarantee him. We have to guarantee him that Baba, we have taken care of it. So we told Baba that many have already given, and some of them have pledged some money, and that will be coming through. And we have already budgeted it, and there won't be any problem. That is what we think. And this is the next question was something like about this book, that this book has to be printed and all that. And the third one was also something, and Baba said, now, Rano, Eraj, and you all go to that bungalow which Nariman used to stay in, which is now the dining hall outside. So go there, discuss all the things, and then go away as fast as possible. So my idea of taking Baba's darshan and all that was completely out. But one very funny thing happened that time. After we have just, sort of completed 10 minutes with Rano and all, Eraj and all that, all of them, Baba said, Dr. Gavar comes in. And Gavar comes and says, Baba wants to know whether you have finished or not. Yes, Gavar, please tell Baba, there are so many things to be discussed. I know Baba doesn't want them to say, but we have to sort of discuss so many things. Which photo has to be taken there? How is it going to put? What are they going to display in all those tables that they are going to put there and all that? We have to go through so many things, and it is going to take time. So Gavar takes this message and goes to Baba. Another 10-15 minutes and again say, when are they going? Baba wants them to go. He said, well, if Baba wants that they should go, then let them go, then we will have to correspond and we will take so much of time and all that, in correspondence, wasting our precious days, and now the stall is going to be open very shortly. So we will have again go. Another 10-15 minutes. And this was Baba's usual tactics, Again, and then Eraj really blows out. It's all right, Gavar, tell Baba that we are closing, we are asking them to leave, and whatever it is, we will just go on sending take cables and correspondence and cables and correspondence. But we can't help it, We have just completed few things. There are still few things that Baba must have heard it in the Mandali power. Because Eraj at that time was a little bit vociferous, and tell Baba, So Baba must have heard it. Gavar comes immediately and says, Baba has heard you, and Baba wants them to leave at 12:30, and this was at 12 o'clock that he sends us this message. So another half an hour, and in another half an hour we were able to complete everything. But he wanted us to go because he was in strict seclusion. But in strict seclusion, in strict seclusion also, he would only Nariman was asked to come to him every weekend. I had to discuss so many things. Then one day, this was at Guru Prasad also. One day Nariman comes and gives me a ring. Says, Jal, I've got some news from Baba. I said, oh, that's very good. This is, by the way, we were discussing something, some problems, some Babalas in Bombay. And then, why is it, Baba was asking me, why is it that Jal and Dolly, they don't have any problems at all? I said, here it is, I said, Nariman, you know it very well that Baba's instructions are there, that not to disturb him with anything, no letters, nothing. And we are going to the dot, Oh, yes. I'll take your message to the beloved Baba. Then that was it. But then, he was attentive to everything. He would just think about everyone, every time. Like in Guru Prasad days, Baba tells Eraj to see who is coming. And that was Dr. Harry Kemp. He had not sent any notice that he is to Meherji. Normally he would tell Meherji that I am coming. But this time he had not told anyone and he had just appeared. And Baba says, see who is coming. He said, yes, Baba, that's Harry Kemp. Yeah. That is how it used to be. He was so attentive in the middle of everything. His eyes, his ears, everything was absolutely very attentive. With Harry, there was one very beautiful instance. Harry and Baba really loved Harry to recite the prayers. Every time he would be there in Guru Prasad. And Harry with his...
It was at Manazar.
At Manazar also. So Harry would really... Oh, Pavadika! And his voice was really very heavy, baritone voice. And he would really, each and every one in the hall would hear what Harry was. So one day, someone told him, Harry, you recite Baba's prayers so beautifully, so beautiful. But don't you think that it is very loud? And the way you put with force. He says, yeah. So, all right, let's see. So then, that particular day, Baba asked, hey, now the program is over. Recite the prayer. And Harry gets up and says, Oh, Pramadika, preserver and protector. Baba looks at me. And says, does he want any lozenges or anything? Baba was always concerned about your health. Always. Even during our men's hours and all that, the first thing was, how are you all feeling? Did you have some good sleep? And all that. He was always concerned about your health. So naturally Baba said, Harry, what's wrong with you? Is there anything wrong with your throat? He says, no, Baba. Then why this feeble voice, He says, Baba, what to tell you, somebody doesn't like my, real heavy accent and a real heavy voice. Baba said, and you heard them, You don't want to please me, but you want to please them. And that was the time when Baba told Harry and everyone, that when you are reciting my prayer, whether it is in slow motion, a lower tone, or a very high tone, or whatever it is, once it comes from your heart, don't bother about anyone and everyone. I want you to come out absolutely as you were, means as you were giving me my prayers from last so many days together. And today also I want you to, and then again, Dr. Kenmore was it ordered that he should always have his prayers in the way he has always been doing. This is how it used to be. There was
just one question. As a man who was so close with Baba and was so involved intimately with Baba and his work and everything, when you hear Mehra's name or when you think of Mehra, do you have a prominent memory that you have of Mehra?
I'll tell you something first. You know, till 1969, Jal had not seen Mehra. He had seen Mehra in 68 when we were there for Nara and Amrit's wedding, and we had 4 children's Navjot ceremony. When we were called in 68 by Baba for those 2 days, that time Mehra had come out the first time to be among the crowds, but she was always with the women, never with the men. And it was something like that. They always felt that Baba always wanted them to be away from Mehra. So hardly they would ever even speak out the name of Mehra. If I tell something about Mehra to Jal, he would listen, but he would never even like to utter the name Mehra. That was the time. But after 69 it was different. So Jal can tell something now.
it so happened, but I think I'll tell you about this later on, because where was I before you asked me this question?
Oh, I thought
Where was I before? About Harry's reciting the prayer. I just want to tell you something more about prayer and arti. There was another instance when the volunteers were called on the last day, and Baba said, come in the afternoon. So we went, and literally Baba was just having his sneakers here, and that was it, nothing other than that. And one could easily see his ribs and everything. And because we were all boys, volunteers and all that, we never mind. And this is how he was. And after 2 hours or so, Baba said, now, let's have the arti. And then at that time, Baba said, do you know that how important these prayers and artis are? And especially when I used to like, I even now, if somebody plays rummy with me, even in MeherBabaLibrary, without any mistake, I would be the first one. Because I love that game, especially the Egyptian rummy. I love that game. But there is no money involved. So naturally, I would go on playing. And sometimes this recreation became an obsession. So happened that sometimes Dolly would call me at 4 o'clock in the evening, and there's a very beautiful movie going on in Eros Theatre, shall we go there? And I would say, I'm sorry, I've got so much of work that I will not be able to take you. And bang on at 6 o'clock in the evening, sometimes I would be, very light on my work. So I would fold up my bag and everything, and I would bang on, I would go to the sportsroom and start playing rummy. Till 11 o'clock, means 5 hours wasted. It went on for quite a good amount of time. And then in my heart, I always used to feel that I'm doing something wrong. I'm deceiving Dolly and I'm doing something wrong. And this would all the time pain me. So one fine day, I'm in plus, not big amount, I'm in plus, but I'm returning back at about 11 o'clock. And as if I'm in a way challenging, or I was, sort of fervently requesting beloved Baba, Baba, please get me out of this rut, RUT rut, I thought about that word. Get me out of this problem. And as usual with Baba, it's never an instant coffee that you have the results. So you ask for it and Baba gives in and nothing doing like that. But fairly 1 month after, I started feeling that, I must stop it. I must stop it. And one fine evening, I go back again to Dolly at about 11 o'clock and I get her up and I just go home. So what is it? She thought that I'm trying to give her some instructions for the next morning because I would be sometimes going very early. So she said, what is it? I said, nothing wrong. I want to tell you something. So I said, listen carefully. I have been deceiving you for the last so many years, and I have been playing gambling and all that. But take my word that from tomorrow onwards, this will not happen. I'm just coming straight to her, and as if she didn't want to hear anything more. All right, she goes back to sleep. But then beloved Baba gave me so much of strength that my colleagues would come, and pester me all the time. Come on, boy, what a sissy you have become. Come on, let's go to the room, And I would say no. No means no. And that is the time Baba also helped us in a way that, Baba made me take interest in the center, Bombay Center, and many other things that I would take interest in. And that is how Baba brought me out of this rut completely. And many things, other things also happen. It will take quite a good amount of time. So, let us have the aarti. I'm sorry, we had the aarti in the morning, first thing at 7:15. But I think this is the time that we should all praise him, just have the aarti.
We want to thank him for it.
Yeah, we are.
Having us here.